How does the subconscious mind influence our daily decision making without us realizing it?
So you first need to define the subconscious mind. The way we make decisions is usually in reaction to the thoughts and the feelings that we have. Right? And so, the question is, are you generating those thoughts and feelings? No, you're not, is the answer. Right? So the reality is that you're responding to the thoughts and the feelings, and you can choose how to respond to them, and then you can try and direct them, but still the force that's generating it is kind of from a place that's not in our conscious space. A bit like when you're breathing, right? I'm breathing right now without even thinking about it. Just while I'm talking, breathing is happening, but I can stop and control that breath, but then it just goes back to working on its own, right? So that's sort of, there is some ability to go and access it and direct it, but then once you take your attention off that, take your conscious attention off your breathing, it just gets handed back over to the subconscious.
So subconsciousness is like your breathing that you do all the time without even realizing, and then consciousness is when you control your breath.
Hopefully this example might help a little bit as well. So I was having this discussion the other day we're talking about judgment, right? So it's always said that you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, shouldn't judge people, whatever. Like it's kind of a silly statement in a sense, is that it's not like judgments are something that you choose to have. Like you look at someone and immediately it's like a knee-jerk response. Like a judgment just happens. It's immediate. It's a feeling that overwhelms you, or it's based on your sort of your upbringing and your worldview, and your familiarity with certain types of people or certain types of animals or whatever it is. There's a judgment that takes place that just inflicts itself upon you. So it's not that we shouldn't judge people. It's silly. It's you can't not judge. It happens. Judgment is a reflex. It's that we should question every judgment that we have that happens to us, right? So it's not that you shouldn't judge, but that you should question every judgment that is just being generated by your subconscious system.
So the judgment is subconscious, and the questioning it is conscious.
Yes, exactly. It's just a general metaphor that you can just use for consciousness in general. The desire to eat comes up. That's not something you chose, right? And then it's what you do with that, obviously. And it's simply ignoring it isn't possible. That's just sort of fighting it and squashing it down. That's not how you can do that. That's just not an option that you've got. You can't just ignore these things. It's how you process them. That's the other thing. That's why telling people they just shouldn't judge it just makes people just double down on the judgment, because it's just like you can't fight them. You can't fight them. You have to process them. When you process them well, it'll go in the direction that you would prefer. If you don't process them so well, then you'll probably end up just doing the thing you don't want to do, like eating that cake.